All right, welcome back, kings and queens. Today we are talking the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 9, episode 10. Listen, we covered episodes 8 and 9, but I wanted to just briefly come on and chat about episode 10. I finally caught up with episodes 11 and 12, but episode 10, I told y'all, what did I say? I did two videos and I was kind of keyed in on Karen and Ray, and I'm going to say they were heartfelt videos because I just suspected there was more going on in the marriage regarding Karen and her needs. And in this episode, Karen finally admitted that the marriage was in trouble. They almost didn't make it, and that she was seriously contemplating divorce. Okay. I told you, like, over here, we hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits. And if you just pay attention to a woman of stature, of status, like Karen, the grand dame, her age, it's shouting help. Something didn't seem right with just some of her behavior and her antics specific to the DUI. I was really pleased at the level of production that Bravo introduced in this scene. And that's why I am a Bravo girl. I'm sorry. I was a Bravo girl well before Love and Marriage Huntsville because I just like the reality of it all when it comes to Bravo. Um, this is a very tender conversation that most people shy away from and skirt away from as it relates to other networks, right? Where people skirt around and pretend that their marriages are perfect. But Karen and Ray, they really sat down and put it all on the line for the viewers. And I really feel like they invited us in. They invited us in. And to me, it gave a bigger explanation, not to justify her actions, but now I can see, and it gives me a deeper understanding of what's really going on with Karen. Let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
Yeah, so this is the only scene I think. No, it's not. I wanted to start off with this scene. And Karen, she sat down with them. And I'm so glad as a woman that she sat down to express herself because many women tend to suppress in marriages. At least that's many, not all. Many women that are on reality television tend to suppress what's really going on, how they really feel for the sake of looking perfect, being perfect for the audience and also for the cameras. But Karen sat down and told him how she really felt. And Ray seemed to be open. He seemed to be open and he didn't interrupt her. He didn't get defensive, and I like how they ended it, whether it was real or not, as far as them not getting a divorce. And what I mean by real, maybe they're still going to get a divorce, but the fact is, he allowed her to talk. He received it. He seems to be a man of little words. He gave a few mm-hms and ahas there, but I thought it was beautiful. I really did. Um, I feel like they're in a good place now. At least that's where the cameras left it. I'm happy for them. And I hope this is a new beginning to starting fresh and starting all over. Hey, listen, it happens in marriages. Ask any married couple. There's highs, there's lows. And when I say highs and lows, I'm not necessarily meaning like these devastating, catastrophic moments, but sometimes they're just moments where it's okay. Whew, that was tough. And I really hope this is a fresh new beginning for them. Because Karen, I just want to remind you, when you needed him the most, he was there at that scene on site for your DUI. He was there. So I really don't want to run Mia into the ground. Sometimes when it's time for me to talk about her, I find myself rolling my eyes. And I think I'm a bit biased when it comes to Mia, because I feel like she's manipulating the situation. I think she's very calculating on both sides of the fence as a married woman, and also how she's entertaining her side piece and how she's utilizing her kids for camera time. So I want to pause. But this was the episode where Gordon came over and Mia was cooking cookies for the kids, and Ink was not involved in this scene. And you know what? I'm glad he wasn't, because I think it's important that he respects Gordon's wishes until they are divorced. And one thing Gordon did put his foot down. He said, I will not film with him. I don't have to do that in that manner to support the two of you, especially when my children are involved. So Mia is still some kind of wonderful, if you ask me. I feel like she sat there and told a big, fat, bold-faced lie on camera. She said to us as the audience that she explained the divorce to those kids, and that little boy, Jeremiah, said, "Wait a minute. You didn't explain to me. I don't think you told me that you and dad were getting a divorce." Kids, I love how kids say the darndest things. And that little boy was like, wait a minute, let me set the record straight because I will not go along to get along. So, yeah, Mia, you lied. It sounds good, it looks good, but thank God that little boy was there, because he seems to have no idea that his parents are no longer going to be together because mommy no longer wants to be married and mommy wants to go outside and be a city girl. Now, I am not dismissing the fact that Gordon has been diagnosed. Um, is it me? Okay, with me, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Is he a maniac? He has mania. Okay, and I'm sure, Mia, I am sure that can be very taxing to you as a woman, as a wife. But when the money was good, there was no complaint. Had Gordon been just this average guy prior to losing his fortune, I would understand. I would understand. It would be difficult. And after a while, you know what? You may want to call a timeout in this marriage or say, I can no longer do this if you don't get professional help. But it seems to be more about the lack of money than it is about his mental health diagnosis. And I've noticed that in particular situations, when you want to swing the vote of the audience, meaning your castmates, you throw in a monkey wrench of his mania and how it's been hard for you to escape accountability. So that's why with Mia, I don't have a lot of patience. Okay. Gordon, thank you for elevating the feelings of those kids in the scene because Mia seems to have nobody in mind. Mia seems to be self absorbed and she doesn't really seem to prioritize the feelings and the well being of her children. So, Gordon did what a father should do. He elevated the feelings of the kids in this moment. I feel like Mia has clearly lost touch with reality when it comes to her children. I feel like she completely disregarded the little girl, and I don't know the little girl's name, but I feel like she disregarded her in this moment. Her response to the little girl saying, "You cannot marry Mr. Ink" is, well, in her confessional, her response to her little girl saying that, you know what her response was in her confessional? Well, I hope she comes to understand that I gave this man 15 years of my life. Girl, excuse me? She doesn't have to understand that. She's a child. All you have to do is just honor her feelings. I'm not saying you do or you don't marry Ink, but just honor her, validate her, hear her as a child. You staying with Gordon for 15 years has nothing to do with her because she did not. She did not force you to make the choice of marrying him, nor did she ask to be here. I don't know. It's just, oh, this is kind of messy here. Gordon made the most sense to me in this scene. And the conversation was very disjointed. Like he said, I have to agree with him. It was all over the place. And that's not how you handle children because it was your idea, Mia. See, it was your idea to do this on camera. So if you're going to do it, then you have to do it right. What are your thoughts? Let's take it to the chat.